What's going on, Two Knicks Chicks family? Welcome back to another episode. I'm your girl, Lady and the Chef. I'm rolling solo dolo today, but it's going to be a short one because there's a few games coming on tonight. One being the New York Knicks. They play at 8 for game 5 against Indiana. Um, Last game was atrocious. It was a hot mess. The Knicks didn't play well at all. Um, but I do believe the Knicks will bounce back at home at the Garden with the crowd behind them. Um, I think this is a game that the Knicks have to be able to come out and redeem themselves. I think this game is very important as well. The Knicks want to be able to maintain control of this series, and that's something that I've been talking about throughout this, playoff series itself, is the Knicks being able to maintain control and keep control of the series itself. Um, I think it's important that the Knicks also prove that they didn't get to the second seed as a fluke and that they didn't come so far to give up so easily. So this team is very much capable. The Knicks are the better team versus Indiana. Looking at the game, you know, I think it was a mixture of things. It was fatigue. The guys looked tired, but I'm all for like no excuses. I get that a lot of guys have been playing a lot of minutes. I'm not here to blame Tibbs because I don't really think that that's his problem or his fault. I just think that right now it's crunch time. Unfortunately, injuries have been a bug on this New York Knicks team, but the Knicks have figured out a way to still prevail despite the injuries. And when you look at what Indiana was doing, they were just shooting the lights out. Indiana doesn't play any defense and they're not that good. A lot of the reports and the headlines are saying that Neesmith did this amazing job on Brunson defensively. No, he didn't. Brunson actually injured himself coming down from a jump shot. Brunson has been off. He doesn't have the lift that he normally has playing against teams. He's been off. And that's okay. He's not going to be on every night. Now, there are some key guys that I'm looking for to be able to step up. I think Dante DiVincenzo has been doing a great job shooting the ball from beyond the arc. I hope that he can be able to keep up that performance in tonight's game, which is going to be massive. Can he knock down the shots that we need him to knock down tonight? But I think for me, one of the key things for this Knicks team, for them to prevail tonight and actually take this win, besides the most obvious things like playing defense and playing really well on the offensive end, is I really think that Jalen Brunson doesn't need the ball in his hands as much. I think with him being hobbled, he needs to just try to distribute the ball and let the game come to him. Instead of coming down every couple of possessions, some back to back, and taking a shot that we really didn't need, I think that Jalen Brunson needs to look to distribute the ball, try to pass it out. Dante DiVincenzo, we need Deuce McBride to come alive. He still has struggled in this series, but I'm hoping Deuce McBride's shot can knock down, maybe being at home if he sees one or two go down. And that's really seemed to have been the case for him where he sees one or two go down and that's it. Defensively, he's been okay, but I just hope that Deuce can give us a little bit of something and can contribute offensively wise. And I also think that if Brunson could pass the ball to Josh Hart will actually take the shot. Because while we know that Josh Hart can give you 18 to 20 rebounds, if he can give us a double, double, triple, double tonight, that would be even better because it'll help out because Indiana's not really worried about Josh Hart because he hasn't really done anything like what he did in round one against Philadelphia. So if Josh Hart can also be aggressive, drive to the basket, put points on the board, shoot the three, shoot shots when we need him to, great. This Knicks team doesn't have OG Anunoby, who's listed out for tonight's game. Mitchell Robinson just had a whole nother ankle surgery out of nowhere. Took us all by surprise. And that was part of my injury report as well with OG and Mitchell Robinson having a surgery, which I think that's something that we do need to talk about once this season is over. Mitchell Robinson's injuries, and where do we stand with that moving forward. But again, that's for a later conversation. But I think that this team can really win this game if Jalen Brunson really says, okay, I'm going to take the ball and I'm not going to look to necessarily score every point, because he doesn't need to score every basket, right? While I think it's great that Jalen Brunson, we know that he can score, I think that if Jalen Brunson looks to pass the ball and let the game come to him, let the ball come back to him, we'll be a lot more successful tonight. Because Indiana's not doing anything special. They're not doing anything spectacular. That again, that's making me be wowed while watching the game. But I don't think it's wise for Jalen Brunson to come down the floor and think that playing hero ball of shooting a three, driving to the basket when he's been kind of off. Now, again, if he's on and he has lift, great. But he's still hobbled. And I just think that if he distributes the ball a little bit more and looks for his teammates, if you get an Alex Burks in, we know he can hit shots, pass the ball. So if he can pass the ball and distribute while orchestrating the offense, this team could take Indiana tonight for sure. But I also would like to see this Knicks team be able to take Indiana in a strong fashion. So I don't want to see the game come down to the end of the stretch where the Knicks are only up by 3, and now we're relying on a hopeful free throw, which the Knicks have been struggling at. And that's another thing. I need the Knicks to hit free throws. They've been like one of two, missing two. So the Knicks have to knock down free throws. But I don't want to see the Knicks. I really hope that the Knicks could try to win this game by 10, 12 points. And it has nothing to do with the fact that Indiana blew the Knicks out the last game, which is a rarity for this Knicks team. The Knicks have not been getting blown out in games this season. But I think that if the Knicks can get a comfortable lead, I'm talking about down the end of the stretch of this game, and can go up by 8, 10 points, that's going to help this team out tremendously. Because now we can kind of sit back and relax. And not to say if the Knicks are up by 12, a team can't crawl back with 2 minutes left. We've seen it happen. The NBA is about a game of runs. But I don't want to see this game come down to the last, the Knicks are only up by 3, maybe 4 points. Indiana gets to the free throw line. Somebody makes a silly foul, or they get a lucky basket. Now they're within it with, a one basket determination that they're in the game. I want the Knicks to really be able to play not hard, just harder, but play smarter in this game. Play their style of basketball, play New York style basketball, play the style of basketball that got you to the second seed, that helped you prevail despite the injuries when you didn't have OG Anunoby before. Because here's the thing, if the Knicks figured out how to win games without OG Anunoby before, even though they're more successful when he's playing and on the floor, they figured out a way how to win without OG Anunoby. They figured out a way how to win without Mitchell Robinson. They figured out a way how to win without Julius Randle. So if they were able to figure out ways how to win without those key guys, that says something, that holds a lot of weight. And honestly, I don't think that this team is done yet. And I don't think that going out in a fashion of giving up, not saying that that's what this team is doing, but I don't think that's the route that you want to go out, as this series is still up for grabs and the Knicks can still take this series. So I think that the Knicks have to really regroup. And whether they start off with a quicker start or not, you don't want what happened the last game happen tonight. You can't allow a lack of defense. And I'm going to be honest with you, I couldn't even watch the whole game because it was just very painful to watch, to say the least. It was very painful to sit there and just, it almost reminded me of, like, it looked like a middle school team was playing a professional NBA team. And I was just like, I don't know what happened Some people was blaming it on the fact that the Knicks played an early game, that there's, the games are back to back. They have a 1 day and then they're back. Listen, I hear that, but I don't think it's time to be throwing out excuses. These guys are professionals. Again, they figured out ways to win when their backs have been against the wall damn near the majority of this season, including the playoffs. This Knicks team has proven they can come back and win games when their backs are against the wall. Not ideal of how I would like this team to play. It's stressful. People's blood pressure are getting high. People are getting asthma, flare ups. It's just, as a fan, it's unhealthy to watch it because your anxiety is high. Do I think sometimes it makes for great basketball? Yes. But I don't think every game we need to sit and be on edge wondering, oh gosh, who's going to get the last second three? Who's going to it's about to go to overtime. It doesn't need to be like that every game. Not every game. But I think that the Knicks, I didn't think that they were going to win, or rather lose, both games at Indiana. Now, Indiana's been undefeated at home in this playoff series. But I didn't necessarily think that it was going to go down in this fashion. I thought the Knicks would have at least had a 3-1 lead by now. But that's neither here or there. It's behind us. We're worried about tonight and the Knicks being able to take Indiana at the Garden at home and to be able to really capitalize and get this win, which the Knicks need this win. And this is why this team needs to be able to get a nice, comfortable lead. Hell, even if the Knicks go up by 20, 24 points in the first half, I don't want to see them blow that lead. We watched them do that. This Knicks team is capable of going up 20, 30 points on a team. But somehow the Knicks let their guards down and they sometimes steer away from what's working. And then teams they allow to roll back, kind of like how they do against other teams. And next thing you know it, they're in it. But I think because we have a hobbled Jalen Brunson, we really don't have many options coming off the bench. This team needs to be able to, other guys I think need to be able to step up. Don't panic, because the last game I saw Jericho Sims get the ball, dribble it, and stop before the half court line. I mean, we're not in middle school here. We're not in elementary school where you're still learning the game of basketball. And I think part of the problem with that is that, and I've spoke on this before a few episodes ago, at least 2-3 episodes I brought this up, where a lot of Knicks players their focal point is the emphasis is solely to get Jalen Brunson the ball. And it's like they forget that, let me just bring up the ball past half court to avoid a backcourt violation, and then I can just pass Jalen Brunson the ball. It's okay. You can dribble the ball up the half court line. They're like this. Oh, I gotta get it to Brunson. It's okay. You can dribble it up half court and then pass it. Even if you can't get it to Brunson, pass it to someone else. Give it to Dante. Give it to someone else. But you cannot dribble it 2 dribbles and then stop before the half court line. And then you don't know what to do from there. It's just unacceptable. Whether you've been playing throughout the season or not, you know better. You're in the NBA. Like, you know better. Those things can't happen. So, and again, and I've seen it with guys on this team who they've been playing throughout the season. They're getting playing time. So I just don't want to see guys feel like, okay, I just got to look for Brunson. Like, create your own shot. Take some of that pressure off of Brunson. Because we know that his lift isn't there. We know that he's hobbled. Can he still give you the points? Yeah, Brunson could still score and give you 20, 25 points that you need. It may be a struggle of those points. And who knows, tonight may be a different story. But I think it's important for other guys on his team to be able to step up to the plate and give you a little bit more than what they have been giving. Now, Dante DiVincenzo's been doing very well shooting the ball. I'm hoping he can continue that tonight at home. Josh Hart, he was kind of quiet the last game, so I want to see Josh Hart like give us a little bit of what we've been seeing from Josh Hart, a little bit more. Um, Deuce hasn't been loose, not in this series. Deuce has been cold. He hasn't been able to make a three. He's been struggling, so I'm hoping he can come loose and give us something to spark off the bench. I want to see Precious Achua, if he gets playing time, come out with some more energy and really put the clamps on Siakam, because I don't understand why the Knicks can't guard Siakam for the life of me. He does whatever he wants to do. I think it's crucial that the Knicks don't allow Halliburton to have time to adjust the ball to how he wants it before he releases the ball to shoot the threes that he wants. And TJ McConnell, you have to do the best that you can to stick with him and also make Halliburton put the ball on the floor and try to work to get his shot off instead of just standing stationary and, not being able to just rather getting a shot off that he wants to get off. So, I think there's several things that the Knicks have to really clamp down and harper down on for this game. The Knicks can't afford to play scared. They got to play gritty, tough, aggressive. They got to want it more. That's what I'm looking for. I'm going to be watching this game very closely. I want to see the Knicks prove that they want this game more, that they're hungrier, that they want to get out of this second round. Prove to yourselves. Now, the Knicks, I don't know who called the meeting. I didn't look too deeply into it, but they called the players only meeting. Now, I don't know if you recall, but Julius Randle had called one. What was that? Last season, he called the players only meeting. Correct me if I'm wrong. I didn't really see much improvement. Granted, that was a different Knicks team. But whatever was said, I would have loved to have been a fly on the wall during this recent players only meeting, dinner, whatever they had. Because I'm sure they were all disgusted by the way they played the last game. It was embarrassing. It was embarrassing. The last time the Knicks lost by 40 plus points was in 2012. This Knicks team doesn't get blown out. But hey, maybe that was what they needed. Again, I understand that the Knicks are down. It's a severe case of man down situation going on with this Knicks team. I get it. I get that there are guys suffering from injuries. I get it. And it's not just this Knicks team. There's other key players in this playoffs from other teams that are dealing with injuries as well. And it's tough. It's tough. You're dealing with an injury. I'm sure Brunson's foot is killing him. Isaiah Hartenstein hurt his shoulder. It's a lot. I get it. Guys are playing a lot of minutes. I get it. But you're still able to get out on the court and perform. You have to go out there and give 200%. You got to, 100, that's why I'm not saying 100, because you got to give 200. You got to want it more this game to be able to capitalize and get the W tonight. The Knicks cannot afford to allow Indiana to win tonight. If Indiana wins tonight, you lost control of the series. You could still gain control of it if the Knicks win tonight, which is crucial. And the Knicks are going to need to be able to do that tonight. It's imperative that they get tonight's win. And also, you don't want to allow Indiana to come to New York and win those games. Now, I will also say that the Knicks were cheated out of a lot of calls in Indiana. And that the only reason why with that is because Rick Carlisle was complaining. He was being a Kevin and complaining. So I guess the referees had a whistle more in favor of Indiana, and because they were in Indiana. We understand that. But I just think that this Knicks team, you're going to be at home. I don't think they're ready to go home just yet. Prove that you're not ready to go home yet, that you still have more fight in you to get past this not so good Indiana team, and you're ready to go to the next round. This team is capable. They can get the job done, but they have to play better defense. This series, I thought I was complaining about round one against Philadelphia in the defense. This round, forget about it. I haven't seen good defense at all against Indiana yet. I've been waiting to see like some kind of defensive effort from this Knicks team against Indiana. I have yet to see it. And I'm waiting, and hopefully tonight is a different story. But the Knicks are doing a lot of watching. It's a lot of delayed reaction. I'm constantly seeing there's a player open on Indiana, whether it's in the corner at the shortest 3-point line, or there's always someone open and no one's running out to contest the basket. Instead, everybody's watching, or you have 4 Knicks players, or really all 5. They're all crowded by the paint and they're watching, waiting to get the rebound. You can't play like that. This team is going to have to come out aggressive and put a body on someone, for God's sake. I mean, it's a thing. It's a so-called thing in basketball called boxing out. So this team is going to have to put a body on guys. Isaiah Hartenstein, I don't want to see him playing volleyball tonight. I want to see you play basketball tonight. You got to grab the ball. That tipping out the ball would work, but the problem is the other 4 players are close into the paint. So Indiana's at the perimeter ready for him tipping out the ball, and they're able to grab it and shoot it. Once again, because the Knicks, no one's putting a body on anyone. No one's seeing the ball, seeing their man. These are basics we're talking about. This is the playoffs. It's not October. It's not November. So, I just think that, again, it's the basketball IQ can't go out the window at this time. We're talking about basics, the littlest things, the littlest hustle plays, the basketball IQ. These are things that help you win games. And those little things that the Knicks haven't been doing have caused a lot of mistakes, have caused Indiana to be able to go up in games. Knicks are not boxing out. I haven't seen Hartenstein really be his dominant self on the boards. I haven't even really seen Josh Hart do what he was doing in round one and throughout the season in this game, crashing the boards. I mean, when are we going to get some of that? So I'm hoping to see these things tonight. I'm hoping to see guys come out more aggressive. If you're not going to come out with a fast start, damn, don't come out with a slow start in the third quarter. Like, the Knicks just got to be locked in, the focal point, the focus to just win. Not even just tonight's game, but you got to win the series. Why can't you beat Indiana on their home floor? Prove to them that you can beat them. So what that no one's beat them yet in the playoffs? This team can beat them. Write your own version of your story, and that's what I want to see the Knicks do. And they've done it so far. Like I said, don't give up now. Continue to keep fighting, and that's what I'm looking for this Knicks team, is to see them continue to keep fighting and prove that they're not ready to go home yet. Put that last loss behind you, and I'm sure they have. I put it behind me. Like I said, I'm being honest, I couldn't even watch the whole game. Shout out to those of you who were able to watch the whole game. I had to turn it off because I was just in disbelief of what I was seeing. And tonight, I don't even know. I may watch it on mute because I don't want to get too high. I don't want to get too low. I'm going to just keep it, like Marbury said, keep it in the middle. But I believe this team can get tonight's win. And I still believe that this Knicks team can take this series. So we'll see what happens tonight. The Knicks do play tonight at 8. They are at home. The Knicks still have home court advantage against Indiana, but I know the next game will be on Friday. So we'll see. We'll see with this Knicks team and what they do tonight. Salute to the chat. Salute to Dwayne Wilson. TJ Honablu. Salute to you. Nia Walker. Brunson got to do more off ball. Yeah, I agree. I don't think Brunson needs to necessarily, if you kind of look, as much as I don't care for Embiid, he plays dirty. One of the things that he did really well against us was with him being hobbled. He didn't have any lift. Embiid was still able to his numbers and his stats didn't show like he was hobbled because he did a great job passing the ball, allowing the ball to come to him, and he just got his shots off that he wanted to get off. And that's, I believe, what Brunson needs to do in tonight's game. You don't gotta go doing what you do, Brunson. We know you can give us the shake and bake, the hezzies. You could draw the foul, but I think if Brunson just allows, sometimes, and I don't even think every time he needs to bring the ball up. Sometimes have maybe Josh bring it up, Devo bring it up, Deuce bring the ball up, and let them kick the ball out to you. Allow them to draw the defense, and then they could kick the ball out to Brunson, and then Brunson could get off the shots or drive, pull up, punk fake, do what he do. But Brunson, we don't need you to play hero ball. It cost us not the last game, the game before last, where he decided to take that last three, and we didn't need that. I thought he should have passed it. I also didn't understand why Dante DiVincenzo was standing behind Brunson. This is what I mean. The basketball IQ, it can't go out the window. You're in the playoffs. TJ said, yes, I agree. We need more ball movement. That's the key. We're letting them off easy on defense with too much ISO ball. Yeah, the Knicks, I haven't seen any, honestly, truly, I haven't seen a great defensive effort from this Knicks team in this series. I thought they were more challenging against Philly than they are against Indiana, who another team that's not good. The Knicks got to stop watching. I want to see them contest guys, be up on guys, man to man, one on one. I'm not seeing that. It's like the Knicks are a step or two too slow, so they're chasing guys off the dribble, or they're not boxing out. And I'm not even just talking about Hartenstein. I'm talking about the ball is coming towards the guards, and guys are just watching. There's like, I don't know if they're just so used to Josh and iHeart getting the rebounds. I don't know, but everyone needs to be able to crash the boards and be prepared if Hartenstein decides he wants to play some volleyball tonight and he wants to tip the ball out. You like this whole watching gotta stop. I don't want to see guys watching tonight. Salute to Michael Brown. He says, "Hi, lady, and the Knicks are going to beat the are going to beat the Pacers. Dante and Deuce are going to explode tonight and crash the boards. We'll see. I mean, that's what I'm looking for tonight. I want to see Deuce. They've been saying Deuce is loose. I, and Deuce, I really hope that I mentioned this before in another episode that I want to see Deuce work on this in the off season. Deuce got to learn how to be able to put that ball on the floor and take off. He has the speed to be able to get to the basket. I want to be able to see Deuce add that to his repertoire, to his game. But yeah, I'm looking for Deuce to come alive because Deuce has been, his shot has been off. He's been so off this series. So we'll see. Listen, salute to Eddie C. He said, how do we stop Siakam tonight? Precious has to come out with some more energy. He's a little too laid back for me, and I need him to come out with a little bit more energy and pep. I don't think that the Knicks need to double team Siakam. Sometimes you could have good defense and it's just better offense. But I need to be able to at least see the good defense. And I think that Precious just needs to really stick with him as much as possible and make it hard for him. Try to deny him even getting the ball. Because Siakam's done this to the Knicks when he was even on Toronto. He does whatever he wants to do, and the Knicks don't have an answer for him. Still don't understand that. Never been so nervous going into a Knicks game. Yeah, I'm not as nervous. I'm just, like I said, I don't want to get too high, don't get too low. Um, and I also don't want to see like whether it's Dante, it's Josh, whether it's Deuce, Brunson, one or two guys having a 35-point night and for it to go to waste. Like if you got a guy that's hot and he's giving you 30, 25, 30 points, we got to get the win. I don't want to see that go to waste and then, I don't want to see that happen again tonight. That's another thing also. Salute still Knicks fans. Salute to Ron. He said, "What's good, Knicks family? Salute to the chat. Salute to Lady and the Chef and Diva Locks. Let's go, Knicks. Salute to Diva Locks. She couldn't make it tonight, but salute Ron. Yeah, it is mandatory that the Knicks win tonight. I 100% agree. The Knicks want to be able to maintain control of this series. And for them to do that, the Knicks have to capitalize and win tonight. Because if not, the momentum shifts. Because now Indiana has some confidence. They're like, oh, well, we beat them the last two games. Right? Because I'm sure I wasn't the only one. I thought the Knicks were going to have at least a 3-1 lead over Indiana. But it's not over with. This team can still capitalize and win. It's not over with. And I'm not counting this Knicks team out. While all the media, sports media world and BSPN and TNT and Chuck and Charles and Shaq and they're all out here, the naysayers saying Doris Burke, all of them. They're counting the Knicks out, saying the Knicks are depleted, the Knicks are fatigued, the Knicks have run out of gas. I don't think that that's the case with this Knicks team. And quite honestly, this is not the only series that's tied 2-2. And the only reason why Boston is up is because they don't really have much of a challenge. Come on, if we were playing Cleveland, it wouldn't be a challenge for us either. Cleveland has no answer for us. But Indiana is not nowhere near a challenge like Philadelphia was for us. This team is not good. The Knicks just have to play better. The Knicks have to want it more. And the Knicks have to capitalize and prove that they're not ready to go home just yet. They can make it to the Eastern Conference Finals. Indiana didn't even make the playoffs last year. How about that? They didn't even make it. And the only reason why they got past Milwaukee is because Milwaukee didn't have Dame Dollar and they didn't have Giannis, who were both hurt. And Cleveland is going to go down because Donovan is going to be out with an injury. So this is what I mean. The injuries are all it's happening for multiple teams in the playoffs. It's not just the Knicks. A lot of teams and players are hurt and hobbled. They may not be down to a man down situation like the Knicks, but it's throughout the league. It's the end of the season, but it's about who wants it more. You know what I mean? Who's gonna find that toughness and find it within them to pull away. And Brunson is capable of putting his team on his back, but I think his team has to be ready to get off his back and help out and fight too. So the 100 ultimate salute. He said, if there's not a dramatic change in the Knicks injury status in the next 1 to 2 games, the Knicks will lose this series. It's unfortunate. Are you referring to OG and OB? I do think that the Knicks need OG, but this is why I want the Knicks to be able to just get this series out of the way so we can possibly get OG back for Eastern Conference Finals the next round. But it's unfortunate because even a guy like Bogdanovich could have helped the Knicks out with the scoring. We know this guy is clutch and can score for this Knicks team. But, I mean, we'll see. We'll see. I think right now with who we have, guys just have to continue to tough it out and fight. So Alex Burks must have a 35-point game for the Knicks if they should win tonight, a monster game. He's capable of doing that. I think Dante has to have a great game. Josh has to have a great game. Burks has to step up and have a great game. Deuce McBride has to step up and have a good game. Hell, even Isaiah Hartenstein has to have a good game. It can't just be Brunson and one other guy. Collectively, if the Knicks have at least, I'm going to say a minimum of 4 guys who can give you double figures, they can win this game tonight. But it can't just fall on 1 or 2 guys. It's not going to happen. I'm hoping the refs will be more mindful of Neesmith and him not allowing Brunson's land. He's impeding his landing. Yeah, I hope they do watch that because that's very true. That Brunson kept landing on Neesmith's foot, which is crazy that the refs didn't call it in Indiana. But what do you expect? They're in Indiana. CM salute. He said Deuce or Precious better to start. I would say Deuce. But if it's going to be Deuce, I need Deuce to get loose, knock down some baskets tonight. And Precious, I need Precious to just energize up more. Because on the defensive end, he just seems a little too it's too lax. It's too slow for me. I need him to come out with some more energy and to move his feet as we know he can and really try to guard Siakam and help out on the boards, help out and not get in foul trouble quickly. That's another thing also. With the Knicks, it comes down to effort, plain and simple. Yeah, it comes down to effort, trying to get second chance offensive rebounds and boards. On the defensive end, it comes down to effort as well. Like, you know, you can't allow this team or any team to get the best of you. And while Indiana may be on a high because they're looking at it like, oh, well, we got the best of them, we got this team, it's not over. So allow them to relish in whatever high they're on. But you got to bring them back down to reality in tonight's game. And you prove to them while they didn't make the playoffs last year, you did. And this Knicks team is looking to get better each game, each year, and throughout each series of this playoffs. And that's what it's about. That's what the better teams do. And I just don't want this team to give up so quickly over a team that's not better than them. Not better than them at all. This Knicks team is definitely better than this Indiana team. So, salute CC. He said, play a steady floor game and leave no food on the plate. Agreed. Agreed for sure. Like the Knicks don't want to play with their food at all. So like I said, if the Knicks can't come out with a fast start, I just don't want to see third quarter come and then you allow Indiana to go off. Just play steady, play harder than them. And if the Knicks can really try to get a nice lead on this team, you know, I don't know why the Knicks love keeping the games close. Go up by 6, maybe 7. Indiana chips into it, or vice versa. The Knicks are down by 9. They chip in it. Now they're only down by 5 or 6. Like, it doesn't need to be like that. Just get a nice lead over these guys and keep it there. Keep it there. You know, watch also the turnovers. I don't want to see silly turnovers from Josh Hart, guys dribbling the ball off their kneecap or not throwing a not a good bounce pass or a pass going over someone's head. It's the little things like that that matter. Those little turnovers that you're causing. Now Indiana gets the ball, they're able to score, not knocking down the free throws. Those are 2, 3, 4 points. They start adding up that you could have had. So it's the little things that the Knicks, if they don't do or do, that can cause this Indiana team to chip away back into this game. Salute, Ajay. Tibbs took too long to go to Burks. Yeah, I think you know, Burks missed a few shots the last game he was in, but I don't know what that's about with Tibbs, you know. I know he's all about trust, but listen, you down to only a handful of guys, literally. Like, you don't have a slew of options that you can call guys and they can come off the bench. You don't, and I think if Burks has a hot hand, you got to leave him in. Like I said, I don't think the focal point needs to be Brunson, because whoever's guarding Brunson, whether it's Neesmith, TJ McConnell, whoever, they're going to be watching Brunson because they're expecting Brunson to do all the scoring. But I think that's where other guys on this Knicks team have to step up. They have to contribute scoring wise. And that doesn't mean you have to settle for the 3-point shot, Dante DiVincenzo or Deuce McBride. There's a such thing called driving to the basket. It's not going to kill you to do it. So we'll see. Ajay said either fast start or play stellar defense from the jump to make sure they don't have a fast start. Agreed. The Knicks have to play stellar defense. I don't want to see that watching guys shoot 3-pointers or getting out rebounded or Hartenstein working hard to tip it out, but because everybody's in the paint on the Knicks, there's no one grabbing the boards by the perimeter. So gotta put a body on someone. You gotta box out. Gotta see where the ball is going and not watch. So we'll see. We shall see. So far in this series, the Knicks really get to the line. Sadly, when they do, they don't make them. Yeah. And the reason with that is because really the only player that's he can draw fouls really well is Jalen Brunson. Jalen Brunson knows how to draw the contact. This team, all the other role players, we don't have players who are playmakers who can draw contact when they drive, or even if they don't make the basket and get the and one, they get fouled while trying. We don't have enough guys who know how to do that. And again, that's another conversation we're going to save for when the season is over with. This team, I think that we need at least 2 more players who we can add to this roster who can do just that. Because I think that's something that hurts this Knicks team. And I do agree, Josh Hart, this is why I say the Knicks need to get a comfortable lead. So you don't have to put guys like Josh Hart on the free throw line at the end of the game and then he chokes and doesn't make 2. Crazy to me how that happens. Like it's inexcusable, honestly. Um, Shout out to the New York Liberty. They start their season opener tonight against the Washington Mystics. The game is actually on now on Prime. I am going to check out some of that game before the Knicks play because I do want to see how they're starting off this season. I didn't really get to watch too much of the preseason, but I will be checking that out. I agree. Knock down the open shots. That's something that the Knicks, you know, I look at a guy like Deuce McBride, and Deuce has been open. They're not really contending against Deuce. I just think Deuce is off. And when you're off, teams are going to dare you to shoot because they're like, either he's not shooting or he's off. And not shooting is Josh Hart. Off is Deuce. Deuce has to come loose and knock down the shots, and Josh needs to shoot the ball more. If you're not going to shoot Josh, then drive. Give us something. You got to pick one. It can't just be rebounds. Like, we know you can give us 18, 17 to 20 boards, but we need points. Take the pressure off of Brunson. He's hurt. You saw what Maxey did in round 1. Maxey was just going after it. That's what I want to see from other guys. You got to figure out a way to go after it and produce and put points on the board. You could play all the defense you want and play spectacular defense, which will work. But if you're not scoring, what good is all of that defense? So they go hand in hand with each other. So we'll see. I agree 100%. He said basketball is also a game of offense. An NBA team can't win when 65% of their offense is injured. There has to be 1 or 2 wild cards with strong games other than Brunson. Exactly my point of what I was just saying. If you know, and I'm speaking to the role players on the Knicks, Like, if you know your main player is hurt, then like my mentality would be like, all right, let me step up and do what I need to do. Because that's what happened with Philadelphia and why we was able to beat them. The only one that had that mentality was Maxey, because everybody else was chilling. They wasn't doing anything. They wasn't contributing. And that can be the downfall of this Knicks team. If you don't have other guys step up and contribute, it's going to be the downfall of them being able to take this over the series and win. The offense can't just rely and fall on one guy being Brunson. It has to be other guys that step in and be able to contribute and score. So we'll see. But I'll be tuned into tonight's game. I'm going to be watching. I'm looking for solid defense. Keep the turnovers down. Lock in on the defensive end. Get the second chance opportunities that the Knicks, if they can, and more. So I'm out of here, guys. I want to go watch the Liberty game before the Knicks start. Shout out to the chat for joining me. Dwayne Wilson, salute to you. TJ Honablu, salute to you. Nia Walker, salute to you as well. Michael Brown, salute to you. Those of you who are new here, salute to you for rocking with me during this short session. Usually I'm here with my other half, Diva Locks. But if you're new here, subscribe to the channel. We come on every Tuesday and Thursday at 6:30 p.m. and on Saturday mornings at 10:30. So check us out. Eddie C, salute to you, always showing love and support. Still Knicks fans, if you guys haven't watched or you're living under a rock and haven't subscribed or checked out any of Still Knicks fans, check out Ron and John. They have great Knicks content. They always show love. I appreciate Ron. He's always part of the replay gang too when he can't check us out. The 100 Ultimate, salute to you as well. Tibbs said, I will be a great coach there. We'll see, Tibbs. We'll see. I'm looking forward to you to come through, Tibbs, with the adjustments, the rotations. We'll see. CM, salute to you. CC, salute to you. Ajay, salute to you. I watched you guys last night. I couldn't make it, but I was listening to you guys early on the replay while I was at work. Salute to Tony Crow. Salute to Queen. And Jeff, salute to you guys. MC Sports, exactly. Go New York, go New York, go. You already know. CC said, Achua should not be afraid to attack and get downhill in a fast break transition. Yeah, I want to see Precious be aggressive. Don't play scary. Come out of that shell and be aggressive. We've seen what Precious could do. I just need him to step up and be aggressive tonight. This game, there's no other option but win. That's it. And this Knicks team could do it. They're not done yet. I still have faith in them. I'm still being very optimistic. And we'll see what happens tonight. I'll be watching this game closely. Before I get out of here, guys, I've been wanting to play the premiere J Boogie's The Knicks Symphony. It should play this time. I had some technical difficulties trying to play it on Saturday. So
New York City, it's your girl, Lady and the Chef, and I brought some of my best podcast spitters. In fact, here come the symphony.
For the playoffs everywhere, we orange blue. Nick Game, Fly Cam, Anthony Donahue. The MSG inside is like a 4.8. And when it shake, the magnitude is like the earthquake. Truth be told, it's a bad enough reason. When they broke the news, Julius out for the season. That only mean the squad, they more locked in. 19,812 in the garden. We sold out to the max, we the best fans. From Coach Tip going back to Red Hose, man. The Frazier era, rest in peace, still the Willis Reed. It's only right I start off the Knicks Symphony. Next up,
I believe that's me.
Drugs, light up the Knicks for the symphony. As our time, you could tell we arrived. When you look up in the clouds, you see orange and blue skies. They doubted us for a long time, cause we came from nothing. Now the city on my back like Jalen Brunson. Next man up, you know you can't stop us. Run, shoot, all for the screen, you can't block us. 48 minutes of straight pain. We could do this at home or away games. There's no place like the Garden where stars is born and the loser's heart gets torn. We leave it all on the court. It's time to step up your game in 3-point range, or you gon' hear.
Next up,
I believe that's me.
Trippy, light up the Knicks for the symphony.
Got JB, Villanova, tell me who want wreck. Triple-headed monster, even got block nest. Orange and blue vibe, Knicks crest on your chest. Since OG, you can miss me with the Michelin nest. Chef Ragu with the shot, hit boogie, you press. Who want next? Eastbound gritty, keep it shippy, dropping 50, just crown, son. ECF up next, cut the check, we got one. Army Swift, knife mark deep, if you doubt, son, it's clout, son. New York forever saying proud, it's wartime, we changing the outcome. 24, clear the path, get it done, this is our
Hey yo, it's Phil, all caps, tapping in like the 6-man. Spit all facts, never slacks, I'm a Knicks fan. Slam the competition with the rhymes that I wrote. Spanning back to the days of Starks dunking on the go. You will quote these lines, this is a squad to believe in. We've overcome adversity throughout the whole season. Super teams are fleeting, so we built a continuity. Regardless of our seeding, Captain Clutch was facing scrutiny, cause media lies like presidential elections. So we made them bow down like Cuban Westside Connection. The grit of the 90s, the fight of our lead. Tip screaming, where you at? The whole city behind me.
Next up,
I believe that's me. Respect history of that team that played for NYC. 90s ball, Mason Oak with a shot to your ribs. From jump ball of 48, that's on the clock for the Tibbs. It's dedicated. Chip on our shoulder, 73, let's celebrate it. Trust me, it's personal, NBA Finals designated. We don't wanna settle for less. Last time I checked, whoever leave with that gold medal's the best. Injury reports, messing with my head got me stressed. And then boom, here comes Deuce off the bench. Had to get off that stage. And next up, the mindset of the Knicks is step up. Who want war with us? Toe to toe, who gon' score with us? Playoffs, who gon' really win four with us?
next up, I believe that's me. Bars and hoop, light up the Knicks for the symphony.
Yo, we ain't no joking. Competition, we clip and smoke them. These niggas is potent. Underdogs remaining focused. Don't be surprised, we making moves true to the game. We got a squad with hitters ready to bring the pain. We're hard hats, bring lunch pails, grimy and gritty. With 12 men, blue collar guys that's running the city. Ain't nothing pretty. Took 6 games to finish Philly. This for my city, NYC, better sing it with me. JV's the blueprint. In other words, he's like a spark. We draining threes from long range like Josh Hart. OG be locking it down. We built to go for a few rounds, so duck down, protect your dome and your crown. So grab your seats, sit courtside and enjoy the ride. Orange and blue, Knicks fans, we repping it with pride.
Next up,
I believe that's me.
Trav, light up the Knicks for the symphony. Go.
Yeah, I'm in the garden like a lawnmower, going through green like a leaf blower. Orange and blue skies by the all knower. You can see the potential if you a ball knower. I'm the king, the Knicks on the crown. If you big and bad, can stop us right now. The Brunson burner, he's shooting your lights out. This is our city, we taking the vice out. Get a grip, get a grip. We be killing it, man. You be looking for your heart, but it's still in my hand. Thought you was gonna come and try to steal the win. Well, I guess we had a change of plans. God damn.
Next up,
I believe that's me.
Papa left, close out the Knicks symphony.
Bring me the smoke while they duck for the semis. All the Chucks and the Kenny getting stuck on a Fenny. Hey Becky, is Jalen 1A yet? If I hear another game start talking out they paycheck, fuck them down, no baby reindeer. These stalkers like Parker just can't be safe here. It's open season, playoff grind. I hear the Draymond Greens, they gotta play online. It take a hero to carry this city. Real work, you wash with a pod, so carry on Gilbert. I feel perk, but this for the day ones who've been A1 on go when the hate comes. So what's a Paul Reed to a boss tweet? Get off these, we run 4-4s till it's all ring.
And that's what it sounds for a Knicks symphony. And beat is in the trunk, y'all know who on deck. Every series we dropping a Knick anthem. We ain't playing no games. It's orange and blue skies, baby. Another Mike Blaze and J30 production. And I'm the closer. Salute, salute, salute. 3 capital S's. Bless health, happiness to everybody. Peace.
Go check that out. Salute to J Boogie. Salute to everybody on that track. Salute to J Boogie for having me on the intro of the track. That song can be downloaded, the Knicks Symphony, on all platforms. Go check it out, everybody. We will be running that song back. And let's go Knicks, as Diva Locks always says. Jay Boogie, salute to you. I appreciate you, brother. He said, turn up then. Shout out to the Knicks Chicks family. Blessings, health, happiness. Hit that like button. Nobody doing it like we doing it. About to handle our biz tonight. Two Knicks Chicks is in the building. Exactly. And the Knicks will handle their business tonight. Go download the Knicks Symphony on all platforms, whether you got Spotify, Apple Music, wherever you get your music downloaded, it's there. Until next time, Knicks family, peace, everybody.